Hello everyone and welcome to the Brick Basement. This is not a shot of my basement, but I thought I would take a minute and show you guys one of my favorite online tools for getting the Lego pieces that I need for my projects. Maybe this will be helpful for you as well. You're probably familiar with the brick and mortar Lego Pick-a-Brick style, where you go into the store, you get a little box, and you can fill the box up with parts that are on the wall. And those are fantastic if you happen to be at those stores, but there are a few limitations. Obviously, the parts have to fit in the box. You're limited to what is on the wall. If you don't live near a Lego store, that can be detrimental as well. So Lego actually has, a lot of people don't know this, an online Pick-a-Brick website. So we're going to go there now. I'm going to type in Lego Pick-a-Brick, and you will see that the first choice is going to be Lego Pick-a-Brick website here. When I click on that, it's going to look fairly similar to the Lego website that you're probably used to, but this is a page within the Lego website for specifically Pick-a-Brick. This is where you can find all sorts of individual pieces and you are paying per piece. Okay, you don't fill up a box, you're not limited to a certain volume. It's probably a little bit more expensive than Pick-a-Brick walls because you're paying per piece, but they have a huge variety of things here, and there are a few advantages over a website like Bricklink that I should mention now. First, the Lego website has tons of different parts all in one place. When you're shopping on Bricklink, you obviously either need to shop in multiple stores or find a store that has everything that you need. The second advantage is you can absolutely trust Lego. It's a big company, they will take good care of you. Bricklink, you're kind of at the mercy of the seller. There are many outstanding sellers on Bricklink, but you've all probably had a shady experience or two if you've shopped on the Bricklink website for long enough. I do want to go over some of this navigation because it can be a little bit confusing. The naming system is not stellar on this Pick-a-Brick website. So I would recommend that before you place your first order, that you kind of browse this website and see how it works. You can filter by all sorts of different things over here. You can see I can filter by Lego or Technic or Duplo. I'll click on Lego here. If you're looking for a specific category of piece, maybe you're looking for animals or you're looking for minifigure accessories, whatever, you can absolutely sort that way. If you go down here, maybe you're working on a project like I am with rock monsters where you need specific colors and you want to know what the options are here. You can see there's all sorts of color options. And we're going to talk about the best sellers in just a second. But just for the sake of the first example, let's go to minifigure parts. If I click on those, you're going to see that all sorts of minifigure parts show up. Now, for certain parts, they only make the part in one color. You can see here these torsos or this head, for example. But the different colors within a given part are all going to be under one listing. So if we take this hairpiece, for example, right here, this listing is not only for what I think is dark brown here, but if you click on this, you can see that there are actually 4 different colors available for this hairpiece right here. The naming convention is going to be what Lego uses and not what Bricklink uses. I know that can be a little confusing, especially because it may not be exactly represented real well on your screen with what color is what. So you may have to do a little homework on what Lego equivalent names are if you are used to the Bricklink naming convention. All right, so you can see there are tons and tons of different minifigure parts in here. There is a search bar that you can use to search for certain things, but I will confess that I have struggled to use this search bar because the naming conventions are super weird on this Lego Pick-a-Brick website. As an example, these are not legs. These are mini lower parts, right? So if you search for legs, you may or may not find what you're looking for. Similarly, the torsos, or as I think of them as being a torso, will not be named torso on this website. This will be named, I don't know if I can find them quickly, but I can show you in the search. These are going to be referred to as mini uppers, which is just silly. Again, not a torso, it's a mini upper. But look at all of these torsos that are available through the online Pick-a-Brick website. So if you are looking for army building opportunities, this is a great chance to get stuff in bulk, whether it's a whole army of policemen or firemen. Maybe you're making some kind of coffee shop and need a whole bunch of coffee perkers. If you are looking for Winter Village stuff, if you are looking for an army of spacemen, you get the idea. This is a great place to go to army build castle figs if you're looking to build big armies of castle figs. Okay, so I highly recommend you check out this website. But there are a few things that you should be aware of as you are using this website. And the biggest thing is this. Lego, if you place an order on Lego Pick-a-Brick, there are two different places that Lego will ship these from. They have offices or warehouses in the United States, but they also have some in Europe and other places, okay? If you are on a time crunch, you want to make sure everything that you order is shipped from the United States. That will be a much, much faster process. I am in the state of Indiana. When I place an order, they will be in my mailbox in less than a week, generally speaking, if they are shipped from the United States. If they are shipped from Europe or otherwise, it can be upwards of 2 to 3 months before those things arrive in your mailbox. So if that's important to you, you need to distinguish between shipping from the United States and shipping from Europe. And here is how you do that. The terminology that Lego uses is standard shipping versus best seller shipping, okay? So let me take an example of these jewels that I was looking at for, I thought it was jewels. No, it was a rock crystal. Let's go to rock crystal. Let's go rock. So I was looking at some of these jewels, rocks, for my rock monster exhibit that I am doing, okay? Now notice that this is for the trans light blue rock right here. That's the highlighted one. The most important thing to note is that this is a best seller, okay? In the upper right-hand corner, you can see that this is a best seller. That means that this product is available to be shipped from the United States, so you will get it quickly. If I go over here to trans violet, same thing. But now notice the trans light blue here does not have the best seller logo. That is significant because that means that if you order this piece, it will ship from Europe and it will take multiple months to get to you, okay? Let me show you a little bit more. Let's say I add 100 of these to my order, and I also add 100 of these that are best sellers to my order, okay? When I close this box and I go down here to my cart, you're gonna see 2 tabs up here, and this can be a little bit confusing if you're not paying attention. The best seller tab and the standard tab. When I'm on the best seller tab, you can see all the items that I will be ordering from the United States that will ship quickly. If I go over to the standard tab, those are the ones that will order from Europe, and you can see these are coming from a long ways away. But here's the thing, it's very easy to miss this. If you get carried away, you add your items to your cart and you just go to add bag, you may miss the fact that the standard order has some items. You might expect these to arrive quickly, and all of a sudden they do not. So make sure you're paying attention to the best seller versus standard categories when you are placing your online Pick-a-Brick orders, okay? The other thing I strongly recommend is as you are shopping around, pay attention to the overall price. Lego offers free shipping at $35. That includes this Pick-a-Brick area. So if you find $35 worth of parts, they are going to ship brand new for free. That is a significant change over Bricklink, where you're going to have to pay the seller some shipping fee. Okay, whether that's $5, $10, or more, depending on the weight, it can be a significant price savings. Now, if you ask me, how do the prices compare Pick a Brick online versus Bricklink, I will tell you that it's spotty. I have had experiences where I can pick up some parts that are much, much cheaper on Bricklink, and many items which are cheaper with this Lego online Pick a Brick. But what I will say is I've had outstanding experiences on this Pick a Brick website. Lego ships quickly, Lego ships accurately, and Lego ships only brand new parts. So that is a huge advantage over Bricklink because, as I said, in some cases I have had less than stellar experiences. I can make more videos on how to do this online Pick a Brick thing. There are ways to search for specific parts if you're struggling with this filter system over here or the search bar. I would strongly recommend that you use search within a set. That can be very helpful. If you built a set and you really liked a specific part within that set, you can't find it within these filter systems or search. If you type in a set number right here, that will pull up the set and then show you all the parts that are available from that set. I will note that Lego Pick a Brick does not have every single mold in every single color that Lego has ever made. In some cases, they won't have what you're looking for, but they have a ton of stuff. So with that being said, let me know in the comments, are you struggling with Pick a Brick website? Have you ever used it before? Is there something else specifically within this website you would like me to try to cover? I would be happy to try to help you with that. But what I will say is here at the Brick Basement, we use this website on nearly a weekly basis, especially when we need bulk parts for making big mountains or big Mills plates or whatever it might be. They always seem to have the vast majority of what I need, and it ships fast. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you next time.